Man, we just witnessed an old school slacking. Bro, you know what pisses me off as a diehard Dolphins fan? I couldn't bother thinking maybe, possibly, we could actually beat the Bills, beat them decisively. Because here's the thing, and this has been known for years, since McDaniels walked in there. The Bills have McDaniels' number. They know how to play that man to a T. They have the ultimate recipe to beat that man. But I'm thinking like, here's the thing, bro. You could have the recipe to cook the perfect risotto, for example. You have a good head chef in Josh Allen, but maybe his sous chef ain't all that. Maybe his prep chef ain't all that, right? So then he's gonna struggle because of it. Bills in the offseason got rid of Stephon Diggs, they got rid of Gabe Davis, they got rid of a bunch of people on defense, including one of their best safeties in Bills history, Jordan Poyer, who ended up going to the Dolphins. So I'm there thinking, in terms of talent, we got y'all like, we got y'all beat by a mile and a half. Y'all probably have one of the worst receiving corps in the NFL. We probably have the best. So I'm there thinking, even though y'all have the recipe to beat us, we can just out-talent y'all. I thought that was going to be the case. Bills end up whooping us 31-10. 31-10. It was a complete disgrace. And man, it's very obvious. In my opinion, I knew the Dolphins weren't going to be competing for any Super Bowls when I saw the hit their offensive line took in the free agency. And in my opinion, that's the thing that you need is a good O-line. The Bills proved that. Like, hey, you got nice receivers, cool. You got nice safeties and cornerbacks. You got Jalen Ramsey. Okay, cool. We got a better D-line and we got a better O-line. Now, what you gonna do about that? And that's what happened. It was a beatdown in every sense of the word. The Bills defense destroyed us. The Bills offense ain't even gotta do much, man. I was like, yo, I didn't even need to. I could have been the quarterback for the Bills right now, and we would have still won by like 20 points. Dog, here's an interception. Okay, now hey Cook, run it 5 yards up for a touchdown. Hey Cook, run it 15 yards up for a touchdown. That's it. Like, and don't get me wrong, Josh Allen is their best player. But I'm saying he didn't even have to do much. Like you would have thought, oh, if you beat us, oh, Josh Allen must have put on some sort of masterclass against us. And he played good when asked to, but he wasn't asked to very much because the defense was just playing amazing. And then the Tua injury, which I'm gonna get to a little bit later. Right now, I'm talking about the game, but everything before his concussion, my dog Tua had 3 interceptions. First one, a lot of people were blaming on him because he kind of mistimed the route. He might have not been looking when Tua threw the ball, but he was looking when the ball was already hitting his like chest area. I expect you to catch it. You're a receiver, you get paid to catch balls. That's it. That's all you got to do. As long as you catch a ball, you're Gucci. He tossed it up in the air where there was a bunch of Bills around, and guess what happened? Okay, yeah, exactly. That one I won't blame Tua for, but the 2 other ones, man, that looked horrible. He overthrew Robbie Anderson, man. It's funny because I was making fun of Bryce Young. He was overthrowing left and right. That was a Bryce Young type of pass. And then the one where he's about to get sacked and he can't even throw the ball away. In my opinion, I'm not an expert, not a health expert. The issue with Tua is that he's gone through so much. Look, I'll give this compliment to Tua. The man is the ultimate warrior. The man got his entire hip replaced. The man's career should have been done after that. Yeah, he was still able to go into the NFL and start for a football team. But then his coach, Brian Flores, mistreated him, did not develop him, did not hire a good offensive coordinator. I remember they split offensive coordinator duties between running back and receiver coach, which that's usually never done because it's stupid. Why are they splitting coordinator duties? That makes no sense. Brian Flores was a great defensive mind, but he lacked any ability to make any hirings in terms of offensive coordinator. He did not know how to substitute his own weakness, and that was his failure as a coach. And in the process, mistreated Tua. He was very vocal about wanting Justin Herbert, and now is Justin Herbert a better quarterback? Maybe. Probably. When you're a team and you select somebody and the guy that went right behind them is better, you don't just like make the player you chose feel bad about it, especially even if you didn't want him. You try to make him the best player possible. So dude went through that. He went through a coach that made him feel horrible, made him feel subhuman, made him feel like he wasn't ready, and dude still came back. Then when Mike McDaniels came in, he said, hey, we gonna prioritize your development. I think not only are you a great quarterback to run the system. I think you're the best quarterback to run the system. Instill that man with confidence. Nothing can stop him now, right? The evil coach left. Now you got a good coach that believes in you. We go surround you with Tyreek. We go surround you with all these weapons, and you're gonna play amazing. Guess what? He started playing amazing. And then guess what happened? The concussions. The man suffered multiple concussions in 1 year. Talks of retirement. Talks of should he retire? Should he leave? Should he never play the game again? Again, another setback. And dude, continue onwards. The year after that, the man had his best season and was even an MVP candidate. Dude, like every time there's been a setback, dude comes back and comes back. And now we're into this year and dude is facing another setback. Now, if we follow what he's done before, he's come back time and time and time and time again. So before we tell a man to give it up, before we tell a man what to do with his life, let's take a step back. Let's take a step back and let that man make his own decision for his life. Look, my friend's father went through lung cancer, had to have surgery on it, and the man still smokes cigarettes. You think I told him something? I didn't tell him something. He knows the risks. Who knows the risk of possibly going out there and getting another concussion and the future ramifications of it. Because this isn't like back then where we didn't know what was happening. We know. He's probably seen that movie that with the Will Smith doing the horrible accent. He's seen that movie. He's seen the concussion movie. So it's like we all know the risks. If the man wants to knowingly know the risks and continue forward, why should we stop him? Why should we advise on that? Whenever you see a man smoking cigarettes on the streets, you don't stop him and say, hey, you know cigarettes kill and give you lung cancer. Why are you doing that? No, we let them be. It's their life decision. Now, at some point, something's gonna have to give, right? At some point, there's gonna be the straw that broke the camel's back, right? It's like, oh, all these setbacks, is gonna be one day where he's just like, you know what, I'm done. Is that gonna be today? Is that gonna be after this last concussion? We don't know. We're gonna find out eventually, right? But let's move it on to the football and to the football context of it. What does this mean for the Dolphins? What does this mean for the Bills? First and foremost, I wanna give Sean McDermott, the coach for the Buffalo Bills, the utmost credit. To him, the coordinators, the assistant coaches, the position coaches, all of them. I want to give them the utmost credit because they got rid of so much talent. They had a bunch of rookies and players that didn't have experience as starters, and they performed exceptionally. When you can get rid of half your roster and the next half of your roster comes in and dominates just like the other half was, and it don't feel like y'all are missing Stephon Diggs, it don't feel like y'all are missing Gabe Davis, it don't feel like y'all are missing Jordan Poyer, it don't feel like y'all are missing half of your defense, and still perform like that, that's coaching. That's coaching. Next man up, we're gonna develop you to being a good player. If I'm the Bills, man, Sean McDermott, I'm signing you. I'm giving you part ownership. I'm keeping you on my team forever and ever and ever. Even though he hasn't won a Super Bowl, that man might be probably the best coach in the NFL that just hasn't won a Super Bowl, straight up. For the Dolphins, McDaniels is going down the same road that Brian Flores is going in terms of the man is not able to properly hire a good coordinator for the part of the football that he's not good at. He's well-versed in the offense. He's not very well-versed in the defense. He's not a defensive guy. He has not been able to hire a good defensive coordinator. Vic Fangio was there. Vic Fangio didn't look like a good defensive coordinator. He went to the Eagles. So far, we only have week 1 to go off by, but I mean, the Packers were kind of getting whatever they wanted on offense. So again, I don't think Vic Fangio is that good of a defensive coordinator. I think he's very overrated. Or he's just too old at this point, right? Like the stuff that he was coming up with just is very easily counterable. And then the defensive coordinator that we have now, Anthony Weaver, comes from the Ravens. That man might be the only person to come out of the Ravens defensive room and not be a good coordinator, man. Because like Ravens produce a lot of good defensive coordinators. And Anthony Weaver, at least from the first 2 weeks we've seen, well, I would say week 1, defense didn't play that bad, right? Give up, like what, 17 points? Was it? Not bad. But week 2, to have a team, to have James Cook run all over you like that, Dolphins have always struggled with the run game historically, at least since I've been a fan for like the last 10 years. We've struggled stopping the run, and Anthony Weaver seems to be no exception to that. We keep struggling with the run, even though we have good personnel. We have good players on our defense. We have a talented defense. We just don't play like we have a talented defense, and it's frustrating. Mike McDaniels is struggling with that, and also Mike McDaniels, in my opinion, when Mike McDaniels gets punched in the face, he doesn't know how to counter. He doesn't know how to change his strategy up in halftime. typically when they're losing, they lose the rest of the game. And that's the thing, is McDaniels doesn't have that ability to make a change, McDaniels doesn't have that ability to be able to make a change or counteract what somebody's doing. Or, hey, if the Bills have your number for all these years, come in with a totally different game plan. McDaniels is unable to do that. And in my opinion, the great coaches are the ones that are able to adjust and are able to counterpunch. Whenever somebody starts figuring them out, they'll come out with something different. That's, to me, what separates the good coaches from the great coaches. In my opinion, Mike McDaniels is a one-trick pony. He does that one trick better than most people do in the entire NFL. And yes, we will, with the personnel that we have, we will still be a electric and fun offense to watch. And I'll still catch a few Dolphins games, of course. But we're not going to compete. We're not serious contenders, okay? Until we get a great defense or a good defensive coordinator. And my issue is you need at least a great quarterback or a great coach. And in my opinion, we have a good quarterback and we have a really good coach. But neither of them are considered great in my opinion. So therefore, we are fake pretenders. And keep in mind, I am a Dolphins fan. I want them to be amazing. But until further notice, until I see something else, we are pretenders, okay? Hopefully we make a wild card. What I'm hoping for is at least one postseason win. If we get that, I'll be happy. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna be real contenders. At least not this year. We have to improve the O-line. We gotta improve our defense as well. On top of, McDaniels with his coaching struggles sometimes. But yeah, so that's my opinion on it. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Leave a like and subscribe. Peace.